Well, good morning, everybody. Whether you're joining us for the first time this morning or you've been with us all along, I am glad you're here. City Presbyterian Church is a Salt Lake City church that strives to make Christ's love public. And we strive to do this in three ways: by loving God, loving people, and loving our city. As you all know, the past 7 months have been strange and difficult in many ways, and many of us have felt more isolated, anxious, and uncertain of the future. However, even though I have felt these things at many times, I have been so encouraged by what's happening in our church. I've been encouraged by the regular ministries that have continued. We have city groups that are meeting together in person. We have a men's group. We have a women's group. We have two groups that are meeting on Sunday mornings together to watch these YouTube services for worship. And then we've restarted our Art Talk group. We continue as well to serve at the Homeless Youth Resource Center. Now, for the sake of not giving out everyone's info to the internet world, if you are interested in any of these groups, please email me at markpeach70 at gmail, and I can connect you with the person who oversees the group that you're interested in. One piece that has been missing, though, is our large group corporate worship gatherings. And I know many of you have been missing those gathering as a group together. I have as well. As a session, your elders Danny and Justin and myself have thought and prayed about gathering together again, and we have considered many things. We have considered the importance of Hebrews chapter 10, which says, "And let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near." We have considered the biblical importance of corporate worship. We have considered our mission to strive to make Christ's love public. With all of this in mind, for the sake of those who have compromised immune systems, we've sided on the side of caution. And we have sought to love our city by being cautious and by being an example. Even just this past week, I heard from someone in the community who's not a Christian, but who knows about our church, and he said, "I've been so concerned about big groups that are gathering, who have been careless." And he said, "I'm so glad that you guys have been cautious in what you're doing as a church." And so there's a lot of good that's come out even out of a difficult cultural moment. Yet our desire to be together remains, and it is important to our whole mission that we gather corporately for worship. So we as a session are continuing our search for a meeting space where we could strive to love God through worshiping together, a space that is conducive to following CDC guidelines and where social distancing can be done well, so that we can continue to love one another well by keeping each other safe. Also, in the case that the space that we find is temporary, we are continuing to think about and pray about our future space, a building that could be like the Impact Hub, which connects us in some ways to the broader Salt Lake community, and a building that would be helpful towards striving to make Christ's love public. We would love to have a building in which we can social distance well. So pray for us as we look for a space and as we try to live out our mission. We will keep you all informed and posted about what's going on with regard to meeting together. So stay tuned for that. With that, God is a God who calls us to worship. And he calls us to worship even this morning. So hear now the call to worship.